Moving forward, rather, this is now a new concept. It's called betweenness. So what is betweenness? Betweenness is just a concept of a point being between two other 2 points. For example, if we assign point D as between 2 points I and S. So in symbols, if you want to write that, that's I dash D dash S, D being the point between. So I and S will be on the sides. So for point D now to be in between, you need to satisfy these two conditions. First, I, D, and S points should be collinear, and they are distinct. They are really different points. They are not the same points, class. No. And the second one is if you add now the distance from I to D, and D to S, that's distance ID plus distance DS. That is just distance IS. That's the second condition, class, no, for it to be considered that the point D is really between the other two, which in our case are points I and S. Now let us use that. No? So for example, refer to line IS. So this is line IS, and what if now ID is 5? So ID is 5, SD is 13. So SD is 13. So obviously 5 plus 13, that's 8, right? But what is the question? Question is what is IS? So again, remember, when two capital letters are together, that means we are asked to find the distance of the 2 points. So that will be point I and point S. And we are aware that the distance of ID and DS are already given here in number 1, which is 5 and 13 respectively. So for the solution, the distance of IS from I to S is just equal to ID plus DS. So again, 5 plus 13, so that would just be 8. Now answering the second question, but with variables, we just use the same idea. But the question here is what is X if IS is 55? Given that ID now is 2X and DS is 3X. Again, we will just use the formula that ID plus DS is just the whole segment IS. So 2X, that's ID, plus 3X being the DS according to the given is equal down to 55. 55 there is given as IS. So 2x plus 3x rather, that's 5x equal 55. And then to get x, we just divide both by 5. So 5x divided by 5 cancels to x. 55 divided by 5 cancels to 11. Hence, our answer for number 2 is that x is equal to 11. So for more examples, you may again pause and answer on your own. So PA now is 12.3 and AW is 9.4. And as you can see from the figure, point A is between P and W. So we will just simply use the formula that PW or WP is equal to PA or AP plus AW or WA. Distances is all distances. So we just substitute the value as given in number 1, and then add that because we are adding 2 distances here to get the longer distance, and you get 21.7. So the distance from points the distance rather between points W and P is 21.7 units. Now for the other question is just again with the variables and with a different question, solving for y. We just use again the same formula that PA plus AW is just equal to PW. So 6y being PA according to the given, 4y being AW according to the given, and PW is 15 according to the given. So we just substitute all of that, apply your algebra skills. So 6y plus 4y is just 10y equals 15. And then we divide both by 10 rather, since 10 is the multiplier of y. So we need to solve for y. So that cancels 10. So y is 15 over 10. And then 15 over 10 can be simplified as 3 halves, or that would be 1.5. And that is about betweenness. So there are other questions pertaining to betweenness, asking us to find out which one is between, given the 3 points as as fractions and right here as radicals. So to answer the first question, class, all you need to do is to find the LCD of the 3. Finding the LCD of the 3 gives us 120. And what we do, we convert each into like fractions. So you need to review before you continue this part if you forgot how to find the LCD. So converting the 7 over 8 into over 120 is 105 over 120. Converting 4/5 becomes 96 over 120. Converting 2/3 becomes 80 over 120. We will just compare, class, the numerator. So which one is between? Is simply the middle one. So 80 being the least, 105 being the highest. Therefore 96 is our between, which is actually 4/5. So 4/5 is actually point P. Thus point P is between points A and W. So again, we will just apply LCD and rewrite the 3 fractions from dissimilar or dislike or unlike to similar or like fractions, and compare their numerators and find out which one is the between. And again, you go back to the point where that numerator is picked. Just like this, 96 picked as the between, and 96 is just 4/5, and 4/5 refers to point P. Again, we will do the same idea to number 2, but we have here radicals. So what we do is we transform each into radicals. For example, this is square root. So all you need to do is turn 4 into its square root form by squaring 4. So if we square 4, that's 16. So square root of 16, that is 4, right? If we do get the square root of 16, that's 4. For this one, it's already square root of 8. We need nothing to do. But for 4 square root of 3, we need to convert 4 again. And again, we just solve that. 4 is square root of 16. Here it is. And that's times 3, no? 4 times 3. So 16 times 3, that's 48. So if we are already if we have already converted the 3 into radicals or square roots, we simply look for the middle value inside the square root or the radicand, and that's definitely 16, right? 8 being the least, 48 being the highest, 16 is the between. 16 is 4, 4 is 4 point W. Therefore, point W class is between points P and A. So that is just how you try to compare, class, no, if you have these radicals. So again, we can use the same idea a while ago to answer these questions. Again, for unlike fractions, we just need to convert them into like fractions if you are not allowed to use a calculator. If you are allowed, you can simply get the decimals. So if not, you can use this LCD technique. So 4/3 becomes 32 over 24, 3/2 becomes 36 over 24, 5/4 becomes 30 over 24. I might also make na lang a video on how to do this in a shortcut manner. But for now, we compared. So the numerator rather is 32. This is the one between 36 and 30. 32 over 24 is 4/3. 4/3 is just point C. Therefore, point C, class, is between points A and T. Now for the other one, again, we will just convert everything into its radical form. So square root 11 is already radical. 3, so square root, the radical here is square root. So 3 must be squared. So you get square root of 9. No? 3 squared is 9. So 3 is square root of 9. And 2 times square root of 3. So 2, what's the square of 2? It's 4. So 4 times 3. Here it is. 2 square root of 3 is just square root of 4 times 3, square root of 12. Compare the radicands, 12, 9, and 11. So we see that 11 here is the between. So square root of 11 is already given as point C. So point C is between points T and A, class.